hobby friends, and welcome back to Paint Bravely, the podcast where you can find a little bit of encouragement, discover new ways to make your hobby more fun, and most importantly, learn to paint bravely. All right, we got some fun hobby things to talk about. Brent, you just got back from Nova?
Yeah, I've had a busy couple of weeks. I won a couple of Magic Commander games. I lost a couple. Zetalpa does it. It's a big old dinosaur. And it's got like Trample. It's got Indestructible. So won a couple games there. Man, I keep losing with my man Rayami though. Rayami, First of the Fallen, is a vampire. Keep losing with that one. So been busy on the Magic the Gathering front, but I went to Nova and I had a great time there. I entered the Capital Palette, and we can talk about that. And
yeah, definitely got to talk about that.
Yeah.
You sound so disappointed.
So
yeah,
the Burt Mabers disguise worked so well, and I see why it worked. It had a big gray beard that covered a lot of facial features. It had a hood which covered a lot more. I had my Gunner gaming glasses on to disguise the rest of the face.
Right.
And that's not so far different from the Unabomber disguise, which is actually a very effective disguise.
Baseball cap and a hoodie, right? I don't.
And big sunglasses.
Yeah, big sunglasses for sure. Yeah. That's classic disguise, though.
There's a whole theory to disguise, and I feel like I need to get some books on this because the Bjort disguise, and I never even needed to have a last name, but I think it's Larson, actually, not Merbers. I think it's Bjort Larson.
Oh,
yeah,
Bjort Larson.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel very matchy-match. Well, I mean, did you actually use Bjort? You landed on Bjort?
I did, and I think I screwed up my registration. So, Capital Palette's registration is much more tied to your ID badge, which absolutely, I registered for Nova Open under my real human meat name. And so, when I registered for the Capital Palette, that's tied to the badge, and I did use a username for the Capital Palette. I made a username that was Bjort. And now you're going to be trying to crack my passcode, aren't you? Get into my Capital Palette registration info.
Yeah, so you could get nothing. There's nothing in it. What are you going to get? Like you could register for more Capital Palette entries.
Hopefully it didn't. Yeah, hopefully that didn't save my credit card information. But you'll see that I bought 2 entries for Capital Palette at $8 a pop, and I did enter 2 goblins into Capital Palette, and I got those barely painted up in time. Certainly not competition winning level goblins, but they're cute. They're fun. A couple of sculpts from Twin Goddess Minis. And got them there safe and sound to DC. I had my jar transportation technique. Perfect.
That work out? That's good. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that.
Yep. Thumb screw holds the plinth right to the top of a jelly jar. Jelly jar covers the top of the jelly jar. You get it. There's a goblin inside a jelly jar, and it's all secured nice and snug. Take that on the plane. Take that to the hotel. Interestingly, same hotel where Reagan was shot in 81. And if not, that's not what you're into. Same hotel where Obama did Obama Out with so it's the White House Correspondents' Dinner venue, I guess.
Hotel, yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so actually,
that makes sense. Washington D.C. After all, yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be famous stuff going on in Washington D.C. Probably everywhere has a little bit of history associated with it. But this particular hotel, the area where the 40K tournament was that's where the correspondents are all sitting while some comedians making fun of whoever the current president is. It's great. Yeah, little bit of history. Nice tradition.
That is weird. That feels kind of weird though. Like it somehow makes it less of a big deal. Not the 40K tournament, the correspondence dinner.
Yeah, if you get some pictures of just some sweaty nerds in, I don't know, Nurgle cosplay or something, and just superimpose that in the exact location. And,
Yeah, it's like the ball pit at,
DashCon?
Adepticon or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it makes that room seem way less interesting.
Yeah, the Adepticon location for the last several years, same location as DashCon from 2014, something like that. It was like a Tumblr convention that did not go well. Do you got the full backstory? Did you watch those videos?
I've never seen them. I've seen the picture. I mean, and then you showed me, and then weirdly, like, other people have been talking about it since then. I heard it on a podcast that it was randomly not at all about Warhammer or any of that stuff, that just happened to kind of get into the same area and be like, oh yeah, it's like that particular thing, like Fire Festival, and then adjacent was this DashCon thing.
Yeah, I think it's like the Fire Festival of much smaller conventions in the greater Chicago area for Tumblr users, I want to say. I'm only partially online.
It kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
They tried to organize a convention. It did not go very well. One of the feature attractions of a ball pit was just like a kiddie pool with some balls in there, and that became the cheese sandwich picture of going with the Fire Festival comparison again, But,
yeah, exactly.
A lot of deep history in these places. I mean, convention halls, you got a new convention every week, every weekend. Some of them are going to be hits, some of them less so.
Yeah, that's true. It's like what last year we were walking out of Adepticon, and it was like, was it like a boat thing, or was it like a carpet convention or something?
That sounds right. Yeah,
it was something weird. They were like wheeling in rolls of carpet, like a wholesaler convention for carpet people.
That sounds right.
It sounds right.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was weird. So, yeah, last Adepticon, we ended up flying out on the Monday after the weekend convention. And so there were still some people hanging out in the lobby, like the dregs of the convention hanging out in the lobby. It was still fun. But the actual convention place had to completely convert over to what was next. And it was an industry seminar for Berber or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, something weird like that, yeah.
So anyway, back to Bjort Larson here.
Yeah, Bjort Larson.
I tried. Okay, so this disguise was essentially a Legolas elf. And
okay.
Always something I wanted to try out. And I feel like I broke most of the rules in the Effective Disguise Handbook. But I was thinking, all right, if I wear a bad wig that looks like my own hair, people will be like, why would he wear a wig that looks like his own hair? That's the dumbest thing ever.
I can see how you would think that.
It can't be Brent. Yeah.
It can't be Brent because somehow it looks like Brent is the logic behind that, right? Like, they're going to look at you and be like, that red long hair, that looks like Brent. And they're going to be like, it is Brent, but he's wearing a weird wig. I don't understand. Because, like, the recognition factor goes off before they fully get a look at you, right?
Spoiler alert,
that's what happened. I can see how it's a little bit of a stumble. Yeah.
I think I tried to get too clever with it. Like, yeah, your first instinct is, is that Brent from Goobertown? Like, it makes sense that it'd be here. Then your second instinct is to look a little bit closer. Be like, no, that's a really bad wig. That doesn't even make sense. Why would he be wearing a wig? He already has long hair. That's dumb.
Right.
That's the dumbest thing. So everyone recognized me.
Obviously.
Minnie Ruckus was my photographer for this. He, followed me around, leaving the hotel room, going down to the convention hall and where all the cases were and standing in line. Several of the people behind the counter, man in the booth there, recognized me. The people standing next to me in line to deposit my goblins recognized me. We had a nice chat. So Caught on camera is a moment of someone just like, turning around, and then like you could see the recognition. I caught it on camera of someone just looking, and like eyes locked. And it's a smile. I'm glad that the initial reaction was a little bit of a smile there.
That's good.
Maybe
That's good. Yeah.
Maybe they just thought of like a funny moment from Lord of the Rings. They're like, oh man, I love Legolas. Yeah, it still counts as one.
Yeah. I thought about the rubbery movement of him slinging around the front of a horse, and was like, yeah, but he didn't have red hair, and he definitely didn't look like Brent from Goobertown.
My wig was blonde. My wig was similar length to my own hair, but yeah, it was a Legolas wig.
Like, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Like, so
did you have the
initial
couple
impression,
strands down the front.
There's braids and stuff. Yeah, and I had elf ears. Yeah. I had the little leaf of Lothlorien brooch. Yeah. You win some, you lose some. But I learned that if I want an effective disguise, Burt Mabers was better than Bjort, and I feel like the wig had a lot to do with that. The beard had a lot to do with that. So
I think if you had even a small beard, and then put on a hat and sunglasses,
we don't live in that world.
You'd probably be all right.
We
not anymore. No, you have to wait until next time to try it.
To try it, yeah. Maybe if I had a small, like, filthy goatee. You think that would work? If I could.
Like evil Brent,
grow like an awful mustache. Maybe I could get that going by the next convention. Yeah,
that's not a bad idea. Like, really get it, like, to where first day, do the thing, become the Bjort, enter into whatever it is, and then immediately go up and like shave and clean yourself up, and then come back like nothing happened. It might be like a lot of effort and time to maybe not having that work out. I thought you were going to go with like a bald cap, though. We talked about a bald cap.
We did. It's called misdirection. And, a bald cap actually came with the wig, so you could like fully tuck your hair in and then put the wig on.
Oh,
and
nice.
So I didn't,
Okay.
What I said was true from a certain point of view.
So, yeah. Well, every good lie has a little.
I didn't use the bald cap, though. I just put the dang thing on over my regular hair.
I mean, that would have been weirder if you had used the bald cap, really gone for it, just got like everything just right and snuck up in there and even, and then just people recognized you anyway. Like, I mean, maybe you could have just slipped off the wig real quick and been like, I do not know who you're talking about, and just kept walking. Like, that might have thrown it off. But, like, at first glance, even with blonde hair, I think I get why people probably recognized you. Yeah.
How you doing, Casey? Yeah.
Oh, pretty good.
All right. All right.
I didn't go to Nova.
No.
Didn't do that.
No.
Yeah.
It's a pity.
It was. I feel kind of bad about it. I've missed a few different conventions that I've wanted to go to, and it's just not been very good timing for me, I think, convention wise.
More of a Las Vegas Open kind of location, aren't you?
I mean, it's a lot closer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot closer, that's for sure. Yeah, DC is pretty far. Like, that's a trip.
Yes.
So yeah, even on a good summer, I don't know if that'd even be that feasible.
It was,
especially because Adepticon is kind of just the thing to do.
It was a pretty good convention, though. Like, obviously, it started as a big Warhammer tournament kind of thing. But it has grown and expanded, and there's a lot of painting classes now. The Capital Palette was actually like a really good competition. There were tons of amazing pieces in there. I think there were a total of more than 1,000 entries.
That's pretty good.
They actually had to buy or acquire new display cases halfway through the weekend, and they were setting them up there on the spot. I don't know the full story there, but it was a lot of crammed display cases and a lot of very good entries. And the Capital Palette allows you to use miniatures from anywhere. So there was GW,
Right, yeah.
and there was 3D printed minis from a ton of things I recognized, and busts from a lot of like boutique kind of producers, and it was really, really good. I got a chance to talk to Dave Taylor, who's the head judge, and kind of learn how it was organized and their philosophy on a lot of stuff. It was a good system. I did not need to worry about disguising myself or my entry. That was always just a joke. But yeah, they do a good job of anonymizing everything with numbered entries, like most painting competitions do. And yeah, it was good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, pretty decent little vendor hall there. Got some wolf hair brushes. Got some.
Finally got in with the wolf hair, huh?
Yeah. How do you feel about wolf hair?
I haven't used it yet.
Okay.
I swear I bought some at one point. I think I even talked about it on the podcast.
It sounds familiar.
6 to 8 months ago. Yeah. And like they just never showed up.
Oh.
So I have no idea. I'd like to try them. I don't know if it's like most hair, I guess. If you take care of it and condition it, probably be all right.
It's no sable.
I don't know.
I'll tell you that. It's no sable.
It's not.
It is no sable.
Yeah.
But then again, what is?
I mean, that's kind of the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's tough. It's tough. Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of, though, I got a cat. I did.
You didn't lead with that?
Well, no, I wanted to hear about Bjort.
Well, I want to hear about your cat.
Yeah. It's been a long time. Like, I used to have dogs. I had a cat a long time ago. My parents had cats. They still have cats. So I've always been a cat person, and my wife, no, not at all. Not at all a cat person. Like, does not even like them, generally.
Okay.
But for some reason, she decided, I did not. She decided, hey, we should go check out this pet store and look at these cats that are in this pet store. Like, the local SPCA goes to like a, PetSmart or whatever, and they have like their own little mini SPCA in there that they do on the weekends. And I don't know how long she's been looking stuff up, but she definitely had a cat in mind and like wanted to see a specific cat, and ended up like, that cat was pretty nice, but this other cat was really nice and like really likes her a lot. So we came home with the cat, and now she's like all about, oh, I'm going to feed the cat and I'm going to do these things. And then the cat comes and sits on my lap, and then the cat loves me and not anybody else yet because it's new. And so, yeah, I have a cat. Her name is Winnie.
Winnie. All right. Well, I hope that cat warms up to you here soon, Casey. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, she likes me pretty good.
Okay.
She's a little afraid of the kids because they're crazy, kids and their
How old is Winnie?
I think she's about 3 years old.
Okay, that's what they always say.
Yeah, we don't know. Okay. We don't actually know, but she was already fixed. And they found her like in some town that's not even where I live. It's like an hour outside of where I live. And she wasn't like chipped or anything, but she was fixed and was in pretty good shape. Like, it's had some teeth issues from probably chewing on rocks and stuff. But she seems pretty good overall. Like, definitely house trained. Like,
all right,
knows how to do all the cat things. So
cool. Well, I am looking forward to meeting that cat.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I mean, we're talking a mere few days until you hop on a plane and come over here and we actually do the Paint Bravely in person.
Yeah, we got a new in-person Paint Bravely the podcast coming up. How cool is that?
God, that's gonna be weird, man. It was weird the last couple times, but
yeah,
I don't know.
We'll make it work. And worst case, we get that canoe cat for both of us if it just falls apart entirely.
Like a live, like we're finally recording it together in person, and we just canoe cat just one of us.
Entirely mess it up, yeah. Cat both of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised with the track record we have with that kind of thing. But no, I mean, like the last time we recorded in person, for some reason, and I still don't know why, we were standing up for an hour. We weren't sitting in chairs.
This was your studio design, man. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. We're gonna make it good though this time. We're gonna make it work. It's gonna be good. Like, yeah. I'm not worried about it.
Well, now you got those standing desks, so even if we are standing, it's gonna be less awkward. Yeah.
It will be much less awkward. Yeah, we won't look like we're standing. No, but I have chairs too, so you know. Like I feel like I had chairs last time. I still don't understand. But I'm just saying we're not gonna do that again.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing and being in your studio. I mean, we get some pretty good shots of it in the podcast and your videos, but looking forward to really experiencing it. Maybe make friends with your cat. You know, we'll see how it goes.
You fly across the country to make friends with my cat. That makes sense. I get it.
We should be there for a few days. Maybe we do a few collaborations, paint a few armies, paint some goblins. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. No, it should be good though. Yeah, so I've been trying to like clean up my hobby space, you know, to make sure so it's good to go. I did get a desk all nice and set up. I got lots of things ready to go. I even got some new paints for you. Technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got these fancy P3 paints in the mail.
Oh, I got some fancy P3 paints in the mail. You can't one up me on that. But I'm not going to take them with me on my trip, so it'll be good to maybe borrow yours if I need some, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't think you probably want to fly with those.
Right, hold on a second.
Yeah, man,
continue.
That's fine. All right, finally. God, he's gone. It's been a while since it's just been me and you guys. Brent hasn't gotten up away from the desk in a long time, I feel like. I mean, we've had this narrative going for a minute. It's been a few years, and he still doesn't know. He still hasn't put his headphones back on. Anyways, so the P3 paints I got in the mail, right?
Right.
Like the box I got them in, it was completely busted and broken open. Luckily, I think I maybe only lost maybe one or two paints out of the actual package. So I have 19 left to try out. And they got
my package included 19 paints. And mine wasn't ripped.
Did it?
Yeah.
My box was like open on both ends, and there was bubble wrap hanging out the side.
Hey, UPS doesn't mess around. You got all your paints. Don't worry about it.
Like they dropped one. They're like, oh, we just got to shove that one back in there. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yep.
As long as the driver keeps shoving the fallen stuff in the right box, then it's fine.
Yeah, this guy needs his rock hide.
Okay, yeah, I got rock hide.
You got that Meridius? You don't even know what color to look for Meridius, do you?
What color? No, I don't. What color is it?
I'm not going to tell you.
Literally, what color?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you.
Meridius. I would think Meridian. I would think bluish.
All right. Yeah,
like
it is.
teal.
It is. It is kind of a dark turquoise teal. Yeah.
Meridius. It is teal. Okay. I can see the jump that you can leap, to get to that name.
Meridian? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, think about it, right? You got Meridian. You've also got, holy crap, what's the...
Mediterranean?
That's what I'm... Yeah, you got it. Mediterranean, Meridius. Like, it's in there. It's rolling around in there. So, yeah, I can... I'm not on board with it, but I get it.
I think...
But I mean, that's two. Okay.
I think this was just their temporary label. So we don't have the real labels on our sample paints here. We just got temporary ones. Yeah, I did look it up. And in the old line of P3 paints, there is a Meridius blue. And so I assume that's what this is, but yeah,
it's like the reformulated version of that old paint. Because as far as I know, they're using the same original lineup of colors to go off of.
Seems likely. Yep.
It does make sense.
We didn't get a ton of information out of our rep, so I think we might learn a lot more on the day that the Kickstarter drops than we've learned so far, even though we have materials the early samples here.
Yeah. I haven't even opened a bottle of it yet. I haven't tried it out because I literally just got it like 3 hours ago.
Okay.
Like I signed for it and I'm like, okay, you're handing me this box. Like, is it okay? And he's just like, I don't know. It seems fine.
Should I sign
please.
For it? Like is there a place where I could
whatever.
sign that like I got it, but it was already messed up? Is that an option?
Yeah. I mean, I took pictures and I sent it to Steamforged.
Oh, did you?
Just in case, I don't know, if you could get a refund or something.
Get a refund on the free set YouTuber shill package that we got. Yeah.
No. I mean on their shipping. They clearly did not do a good job here. Yes, like this was horribly damaged in shipping. I have not received a response, but they're in a whole other time zone, halfway across the world, so it makes sense.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I did actually have a chance to get a little test, and I don't know. I've spent probably like 8 hours with it so far, something like that. Been painting some.
Okay, that's not bad.
Some 3D prints from Twin Goddess minis, and So my feedback so far is that it's very satin glossy. Like there's a sheen to this.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe, I mean, I think I mixed it up well enough, but like I'm getting a sheen to this.
Probably.
But I'm actually realizing that the sheen kind of tells us about the good properties of this line of paint, and that is a shiny surface is a flat surface, and like a matte surface often means that there's a lot of tiny bumps and imperfections that are just not scattering light in all the exact same direction back at your eye to make it shiny.
Yeah.
So I found, I think I'm going to use the word forgiving when I talk about this, because it kind of self-levels. Like you can slop it on and it'll kind of level itself out and dry in like a flat surface instead of just having like globs and weird dried chunks and stuff like that. And I know historically people, in the painting community have liked P3 for wet blending. Like you put on globs of 2 different colors and twizzle them together with your extra brush, with your second brush wet blending, and you can just kind of put globs of paint on there and move it around, and when it dries, it doesn't look like an awful mess, which may be the quality of the paint that it kind of ends up being known for. So I don't know, I was feeling off in my painting the last couple of days. I was painting these, but I could feel I was not painting well. Maybe that was the wolf hair brushes. Maybe that was me. Who's to say? But like I felt like I was having some off days, just not at my tippy top prime with painting. But still, the paint all dried like nice and flat, and it's not weird and bumpy and chalky, and so that's good.
I mean, that is good. Like that's kind of what you want in a paint. Generally, like to be as even as possible, and if the color's even across a single layer, then you're probably doing pretty good. I mean, if they are forgiving, then maybe these are going to be decent for I think we've talked about in the past, if they bundle them with Steamforged anything, like some pretty sweet minis, then like that's going to get some people into painting those minis,
get some Dark
probably
Souls,
having a good time. Yeah. So
Steamforged Games has a lot of properties and licenses, and I was checking their website. They did bring back Guild Ball. They are selling Guild Ball minis on their website right now. So, all right, seems wise. People liked that. But yeah.
Yeah.
So there are lots of little communities of board gamers, and then it may be medium-sized communities of War Machine and Guild Ball and stuff like that. And hey, you get them excited about painting. Maybe they put out a few painting tutorials with P3 paint, something like that. All right. Another on-ramp.
I think they're a strong contender to actually make a dent, if anything.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll see how they handle it, I guess, but, you know.
Yeah, the other side of this conversation is another line of paint. Another line of paint. Yeah. And they're launching it in another Kickstarter. And
and they aren't, they don't need to, like, I mean, even the games that they put out, it's like you're doing the Dark Souls board game.
Mm-hmm.
You could just put that out. I think people will buy it. You know, it's like it's fine. They will. That being said, I did back that Kickstarter.
Did you? The Dark Souls one? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was early days Steamforged. But even then, like, it was weird that it was on Kickstarter. I've backed several Steamforged Kickstarters. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's weird because it doesn't entirely feel like a new paint line.
Nope.
Just because I already own P3 paints.
Yeah.
And
they're using all the same names too, or seems like.
It seems like. I mean, if they are, then it's like, okay, good. I'll just get the better version of whatever, I already like. Like I used to use Menoth White base and whatever all the time. I liked those.
I've heard of this.
And it's weird because, like, I don't even know why I stopped using them. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. I still have them, and they're still good. I just stopped using them. I don't know. Moved on.
Yeah.
Moved on to a new paint range.
Mm-hmm.
But, so it's weird. It doesn't 100% feel like another paint range. I mean, another Kickstarter is more the feeling that I'm getting from it, because I'm not going to back the Kickstarter. But, if P3 is coming back and it's being distributed in a similar fashion, then I wouldn't be surprised to see it at the store that's in town that I bought the other P3 paints that I own from. So
yeah, for sure.
Well, I think the availability is interesting.
Yeah, I don't have the full timeline, but there was a period when Privateer Press was definitely fizzling out for a few years. And I don't know if they were even trying to keep their old P3 paint rack stocked for much of that time. I don't know how many.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I came in near the end.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
Maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
Pre-COVID, just before.
Yeah.
So 2018, maybe.
Okay. The last time I have a memory of seeing a rack of P3 paints was 15 or 16, but that's just the stores I was going to more than anything else, probably. But
who knows? I don't know how long those paints had been in that store, at the time.
Fair.
So who knows? Yeah.
Fair.
And also, to be very fair, I bought them out of a discount bin.
They were getting there for a while.
A bunch of different paints. They might have been there for a while.
So you were coming in. You were coming in close to the end. You say, yeah.
Definitely, probably at the end.
No.
Yeah. No. But I'm certainly interested in trying these out. I mean, like, they look like decent colors, and we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. The good coverage, flow off the brush well. I like the way they dry. I may end up doing a varnish, though it's not quite so satiny glossy. Well, yeah, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We could do a whole segment on their naming, but they sent us Immortal Black, Boiler Black, Thamar Black. I know they have a Coal Black, and I'll let you guess which one of them is actually black. No cheating. Okay, you can cheat.
I'm looking for even just a little bit of like the deathlit. No, that's not right. Exile something.
So boiler
Maybe
black is a dark metallic. Like you got a metallic boiler.
Oh yeah, okay, I found it.
And Thamar black is actually a black. Like Thamars tend to be. Yeah, and
yeah, it looks black. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then Immortal black.
Yeah, is of course a dark green, kind of a green gray. Yeah.
Is it like it's not black?
It is not. It's dark green gray. And not even like that dark. Yeah.
Is it Incubi Darkness?
No, Incubi Darkness they call coal black, and that one makes me the most angry. Because coal black is a word that a lot of paint lines use, and like the phrase coal black, I bet like the French artists who came up with the word grisaille have a word for coal black, and I bet the definition of coal black is a color very similar to coal, which is a color very similar to the common pigment of carbon black, and that's for a reason. Yeah. And
actually, you know what? It's interesting because I think I want to say like coal black or whatever is actually called lamplighter black, like carbon black.
Yeah, lamp black.
In like oil paints. Yeah.
That may be.
Yeah, lamp black and stuff. So even that might be a little weird. But it is like obviously, I'm getting the ash from this thing and putting it into a medium. And it is now black paint. So if it is not in fact coal, then why is it dark green?
I don't know. I'm tempted to go on a rant because like I know the chemistry of why coal is black, and like it ain't green. Like it can't be green.
Right. It literally cannot be. It is.
I don't know. Maybe if you dip it in a weird oil and look at it for like an edge or something, you might just get a tiny bit of glitter.
Maybe like English coal biscuits.
Oh,
yes. Like are slightly green tinted. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna have a barbecue, and my coal briquettes are just with a twinge of green. You know? I don't know.
I'm curious. Like I am curious about the derivation. I suspect it's stupid and it's going to make me angry, but I would like to know the actual story.
It's probably even worse. It's probably like a lore reason, like, oh yeah, these guys over here, the coal chamber of mechanized suits. They're actually green men from
the Green Meridius. Yeah, the Green Meridius.
Yeah, exactly.
They put on their suits, forged in their coal smithies, and they. Yeah, and it's green. Yeah.
It's green.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, these gamer paint lines that feel the need to put stupid gamer words on their paints. Like, I mean, I got it in the original days of Games Workshop, and it became a little bit more annoying when Games Workshop just changed their whole line and made different dumb gamer names. But at least Warhammer is popular enough to the point where you know what some of those things are. Maybe
some of them.
Not all. I mean, Incubi, you have to know about one of the minor factions in Warhammer 40k to understand Incubi Darkness. Sure. But if you do know that, at least you got a sense of what color green it is, right?
The best color green.
And no offense to P3 and now, or I should say Privateer Press and the War Machine ecosystem.
Yeah.
But it ain't Warhammer, and nobody knows what a rock is. I know what a rock is, but RHOK.
RHOK, which I just assumed was like Rhinox hide, which I don't know what that is either. So there you go.
Yeah, that's fair. So I mean, there was the period of time when Vallejo Game Color was just slightly tweaking the names of kind of the original Citadel colors. So Citadel had Bestial Brown, and Vallejo Game Color had Beastie Brown.
Beastie Brown,
and, And so that was the strategy. It was to literally copy the dumb names. And so you're thinking maybe Rockhide is a dumb copy of Rhinoxide. I don't think it is.
I mean,
but like I hear what you're saying.
Because it is so close to that actual color. Like, it might be like a shade, just teeny tiny bit brighter than that. I don't know. I
mean, we have a lot of dumb stuff taking up room in our brains, and this just feels like a bridge too far. It's just one too many lines of dumb gamer paint names, and there's a point where it's just like I can't remember what line Rockhide is from, and so I can't remember what color it is. Like, it's just that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I don't know.
I mean, hide is normally brown. I mean, like there are clues, but like.
Sure.
But coal black.
I'm sure that we could do this with all of these colors and come up with an explanation, right? Because I am guarantee you they sat around. Yes.
You get some brewskis. We stay up all night. Yeah.
Heartfire.
We get some mnemonics. Yeah. We get the tradition of spoken language and passing down the stories generation to generation. Yeah.
Look, that's actually not a terrible idea. If you want to just like, I will turn on a camera and we will sit there for an hour.
Yeah, we're doing a 16-hour live stream where we try to remember the names of these 19 sample paints that we got from P3.
And not 20, apparently. I was told 20 were coming. So I don't know though. But if you have 19 and I have 19 and I lost one and you didn't, then what happened?
Yeah, Ordic Olive. I bet you Ordic is their dumb name for orcs. But it's funny that they came up with a dumb name for orcs before GW did. You know, Ordic is better than Orc.
I guess they would have had to. Yeah. Ordic? I don't know.
Ordic flat out better than Orc.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like Oric because it's more evocative of Orikai, which makes more sense to me.
Yeah. You know, the company Monument Hobbies in their Pro Acryl line has a color called coal black. And you know what color it is? It's like carbon black. Yeah. It's
carbon, coal. It makes perfect sense.
It does. And it makes even more sense when you start drawing out the structures. Yeah. Start looking at those conjugated pi systems all over the place. Like it's like this cannot be green. Like this is making me angry. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But again, maybe it's coal with a capital C, and that's the name of like one of their characters. Maybe it was Captain Cole. Captain Cole and his incubi are all colored the color of incubi green. Darkness. That's probably what it is. Oh my god. Magister Cole. Do they have Magisters in War Machine? I don't know.
I don't know.
Wildly misleading name. Wildly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna start naming it after like people in the game, then yeah, I think you're really starting to miss that. 'Cause like, I mean, most of these, I don't know, maybe not most of them, but some of them certainly make sense.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, Midland flesh. It's like a middle Caucasian flesh tone. Like that kind of makes sense. You know,
solid gold. Fantastic.
That's a good name.
That's the color you'd think it would be. Yeah.
Absolutely. It is a nice, bright Retributor armor gold.
And it's a better name than Retributor armor. Yeah, Cold Steel. Yes. Fantastic. So we don't have to be making fun of these folks all the time. They didn't.
No. They're doing it 50%.
Yeah, I figure it's a 2-person team, and one of them knows what they're doing, and one of them is just I think they say having a laugh is what they say.
Having a laugh, taking the piss.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If you look at the 2 flesh tones that I got in here, one of them is Midland flesh. Cool. It's got flesh in the name.
Yep.
And it's Midland, like. Yeah, something that makes sense.
And it is a darker color than Rin flesh. I don't know what a Rin is, but like, yeah. Okay.
But that's exactly right. Like the one person who's like, yes, this makes sense, and the other one's like, Rin is a dude. It's a dude in Midland.
He's a dude in Midland. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they're not quite matching up. I feel like we don't.
Highland flesh would be better, but
right, Midland, Highland, and Lowland.
It's spelled Lund, Lund. So
yeah,
that's why we keep saying the word. It's more fun that way. I approve of that change.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean we approve, but they're not going to. They don't care about us at all. But no, bringing it back all the way back around. I'm excited to see what they feel like. See if they're any good. I mean, these bottles are classic. They hold paint well. They keep paint well. And if these are better than they were, then cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Competition is good. Let all those companies fight it out. In theory, the consumer will win as long as our brains don't just get filled up with all these dumb names. And
yeah. That's really what it is. Anyways, like they'll figure it out, and if they package it right, then it'll be fine. Mm-hmm. So I was talking about a few weeks ago. I was talking about Kingdom Death, right? I'm still pretty excited about it, and I found out that they have kind of like an early access game called Kingdom Death Monster Simulator. Okay. Where you go on their website and you buy a key to the game, right? Like you would in the good old days. Except they send you a physical key.
All right.
Which is kind of cool. Just cool idea. But you get access to this game, and it's basically like a little haunted house with like a board game room in it. And it's the entire game that you've now purchased digitally, like all laid out in HD with the book. You can flip through the books. You can see all the things. You can move all the tokens and cards and models and all sorts of crazy stuff. And it's like a ridiculously high-end version of a digital board game. It's really cool.
They do go all out on things. I don't know a lot about this Kingdom Death, but they tend to go hard. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like not the largest community, but the people who are in it, and especially the people who are making it, are just like really going at it just to make it the best. Like price isn't an issue for them. They're just like, oh, it cost us. You have to pay $800 for this game. We don't care. Like it is worth that amount of money. Like it feels like that when you see this stuff. And even though this is like an early access kind of digital version of this board game, like it feels nice and like premium. Mm-hmm. Like they put some effort into this. They've sculpted things in 3D that look nice and have textures and like effects, It was only $35, which I thought was actually really good for what it is.
And so did you get your key yet?
I have not gotten the key yet because I only just ordered it, but I thought that was really cool. Like a really cool way to do that. Like, oh, when you buy the thing, you get like an actual physical version of this thing that's like the key to your game room that is, the same as whatever your physical thing is in real life. So the idea is that you can play the physical board game and kind of like create a save state and enter that information, and then you have it digitally. And then when you play it digitally, you then can print out the sheets that you would have recorded the information on and continue to play it physically after like that state. So it's like a really interesting way to mix a board game that I don't think I've seen before. And I just thought it was worth pointing out because I still really want to play it. And yeah, it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can play games. I don't know. We got a lot of painting and work to do, but eventually our hands will cramp up and then we'll need to paint something. You can sit there. Don't sit on the knife. Okay.
Knife? You have a knife on your table?
Yeah. I need you hobby knife. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a steak knife. I'm like,
no,
why is
no,
there
no,
a steak knife on your
You have a
table?
knife on your table?
Steak up there?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I got a knife on my table, but I don't have like a knife on my table, you know?
Right.
I don't know why my mind jumped to that. Just you said it, and I just assumed it was a steak knife.
Delicious. Delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Kingdom Death, definitely. I'm into it. I think I'm still. I haven't pulled the trigger on the actual physical copy, but I feel like I'm getting there.
Ooh.
Anytime.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can encourage you. I mean, I can do peer pressure. You let me know what you need. Be happy to do that for you.
I need like $400 to $600.
I can encourage you to spend that. Like you'll make it back in no time. It's an investment. Yeah.
Yes, an investment into the thing that I will not probably open for years.
I understand. Yes.
Yes, but I want it. I do want it. I don't know. Wait for the next Kickstarter, I guess. Just continue the old habits.
Old habits. They die hard.
I did want to mention too, and maybe this is a good thing now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe I can reinvest my monies after I just canceled Stormbringer. No longer doing the experiment. I'm no longer going to keep up with it. I'm tired of it.
Remind the audience what Stormbringer is and what you've been spending your money on for the last year.
Yeah, exactly. So Stormbringer is the like Hatchet Works whatever subscription for Age of Sigmar monthly miniatures, right? It's like a collection thing. They have a whole like book that it takes you through, and they come with models and paints and brushes and all the things to get you going in the hobby. And it's like $75 a month, right? And you get a decent amount of stuff with it. So it's not that it's not worth the money, but it's like the more that you kind of look into what they're doing, it feels more scammy than I think it actually is, but it feels kind of scammy.
I mean, it's a monthly subscription club for models that you have to, that doesn't have an online portal to cancel. Like, there's some yellow flags in there. Yeah.
Yeah, yellow flags are good, but I did want to report, since this is my last interaction, at least for now, with the company and Stormbringer and itself. Like, I got 2 or 3 of the premium kits, right? And those are more just in those 3 kits than I would have spent on the models that I actually did receive together. So I'm not too worried about that. But when I went to cancel, it actually wasn't that difficult. Now, at first, I thought I was screwed, right? I just assumed this was going to be like, I'm going to be on hold for like 6 hours, and then I'm going to have to argue with somebody, and then maybe I'll get it canceled, or they'll have to like ship me to somebody else until I can cancel it somehow, or I'm going to have to legitimately cancel my card, and that's how this is going to go. Didn't have to do that. I did start the whole thing by calling them, and the first thing I got was like a message recording saying, "Oh, we're sorry that you couldn't reach us. Like, we're in London and you didn't call us when we're open, so you need to call back at like 8 a.m. London time."
For the listeners out there, Casey is a coward and refuses to do the British accent when he's making fun of British people.
That's not true. I just didn't think about it. I'm in London.
Never mind. Yours was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah. Maybe I'll think about it next time and I'll do it. But
all right, you got a voicemail?
No, so yeah, so I called and they said that, and it was like, okay, maybe this sucks. Maybe this is not good. So I emailed them. And I got an email back the next day, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, we canceled it. It's fine."
Right on. Hey, that surprise ending, not bad.
Yeah, I was very surprised because I thought for sure they'd be like, "Oh no, you definitely have to call. You have to call."
Yeah. Like, oh no, you're on the premium plan. You gotta talk to a level 3 manager to get out of that. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was expecting, but they're like, "Oh, we're sorry. You know, hopefully you come back. Like, we hope you enjoyed it, and you can." pick up where you left off if you come back.
You check for charges next month, buddy. That's what you
I'm
need to do.
100% going to. Yeah, I'm 100% going to. So maybe this isn't the last update, but I'm hoping
we're always looking for content on this podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get back to that. We'll just somebody will remind me, or I'll get charged another $75 and have to call during London time.
Heck yeah.
We'll see. But my point was, maybe now that I'm not spending the $75 a month on Warhammer models that I mostly already own, Kingdom Death is not that far out of reach. Yeah, dude,
just pull the trigger now. That's your Christmas and birthday present wrapped into one, and cash in now.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
Totally justified.
It's not at all. I mean, it kind of is, though.
Yeah, would you rather have 6 months of Hobgrots or Hobgrot Slitters, or would you rather have 1 month of whatever that Kingdom Death thing you were talking about is?
At some point, maybe when you come over, I don't know. I'll have to get out all of the Hobgrot Slitters that I actually have.
Yeah. We'll have a few beers and you can do some online shopping while I watch.
Yeah. Does anybody want to trade 278 Hobgrot Slitters for, like, I don't know, Kingdom Death expansion? Now, I haven't counted them all. I don't know if that's the precise exact number of Hobgrot Slitters that I have.
You got to talk about better, man. They've got grenados and little knives and
They're
stuff.
Sweet. They
so
do,
cool.
and they're tiny.
Yeah, you can do anything with them.
They are cool.
Yeah.
Look, there's a reason I own that many, right? Like, they are cool models.
Because they came every month until you canceled your subscription.
Yeah. They came for 1 month. I got 40 of them. It was fine.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it might have been 20, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. No, like the last Stormbringer that I got was a big, like, Sylvaneth tree man. Like one of the, not newer at this point. It's like 7 or 8 years old or whatever, but the nice ones. A Durthu or whatever. And actually, I've been needing to get one. Yeah. I mean, I could have bought one used for $30 or something, but yeah. I did find a sweet deal the other day on an old Wood Elf model, though, that fits into that army. I feel pretty good about it. I've wanted for a while. I've wanted the Orion, the Wood Elf King.
Oh yeah.
Like in the super old book, he's only on a couple pages, but he looks sweet.
Yeah,
it's a cool model, and they obviously don't make that anymore, and it's basically good for nothing. But it's cool, and I found one for like $30, and normally they go for a lot more than $30. So I feel bad for somebody, but I feel good for me. He's kind of busted up, but he's painted halfway decently. The only major issue is that he's hot glued together, so he's a little bendy.
Well, you can fix that.
I can fix that. I definitely can fix that. Man, I don't know what it is with this, like, era of models, right? Like this kind of mid to late 90s old, Warhammer models or whatever. But I have quite a few of them that have hot glue just all over them from multiple people and auctions. And I don't know why. I mean, I remember trying to put metal models together back then, and it was a pain. But, like, I never busted out the hot glue. That seemed like the last thing I wanted to do.
Yeah, I wonder if there were a lot of, like, parents trying to help their kids assemble models or whatever. And that's a good point. That's just the boomer solution to everything. Get out the hot glue gun. I don't know.
Hot glue and duct tape, and it's fine. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, the only thing about this particular model is that there are also magnets on the bottom of this base. So I have to assume it was not necessarily. Yeah,
that's
right?
Two different owners. Or that literally is
maybe
a kid
that.
who grew up and
Like threw some magnets on his collection and now got rid of it, kind of thing. That's possible, actually. I mean, they look pretty.
that's
fresh.
wild. Those are some
the paint job
some
on this
neat
isn't
clues
terrible.
there. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really like these old models like this. Like there's cool, weird crap like that. Like I can tell that there's like inks that have been used on this, like old, like chestnut and weird crap. But like gradients that have been tried and done. There's washes in here that are, I don't know. It's weird, man. It's a weird looking thing. And it doesn't look bad at all from like a distance, but it needs some help. Like it's like, even like the metal pieces that are together, like somehow, oh, there it goes.
Was that a bad break?
Yeah, no. It's I'm pretty sure supposed to be glued there.
Well, cool.
Anyways, hot glue, not the best. Yeah, that happened. But no, I'm excited about it because I've done a bunch of stuff to like get this wood elf army going for a while, and like the Durthu was part of it. I wanted to put into the spearhead because I'm using some other model for that right now to stand in as a proxy. That's still Sylvaneth, but not the right one. So yeah, no, I felt good about it, but yeah, man, like the wood elves are pretty sweet, the old ones.
Yeah, and rare too, but all right, I'm happy for you. I want to see what you can do with it.
Yeah, it should be fun. I also painted some sweet metal dwarves today.
That is
I
awesome.
like those.
Are they wearing clothes or not wearing clothes? What kind of metal dwarves?
So the metal dwarves I just painted. One of them is wearing pants. So he's like one of the slayers or whatever, with the big.
That was my question.
It looks like a
that was my question. Yeah,
the big mohawk guy, and the other one is in the same group, whatever they called those. But it's one that's like he's got braids that wrap around his entire body, so you can't even see his feet. He's just hair with like stuff sticking out of it.
Cool.
Yeah, which I like a lot. And those were also hot glued. And I mean, the weird thing is why? Because they don't come in multiple pieces. Yeah, to the bases. They were just straight hot glued to the bases.
It must have been a time period where super glue was seen as exotic and hot glue was seen as the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
All right, I got a wild theory, but hot glue is going to do a better job at filling up the slotted base. So if you got someone who really wants to put flock on or something, I had this myself, a concern about the gaps on either side of the slotted base, of just there being like a weird hole in the base, and what do I do about that? How do I fill that in? Hot glue can fill that in, so I'll just put that out as one theory.
Yeah. I mean, that makes as much sense as anything I can think of. I not too long ago I did fix what it's called, a doom wheel, Skaven doom wheel that was 100% assembled with hot glue.
That's a lot of pieces.
Yeah, it was by far one of the gnarliest like cleanups that I've had to do. Because everything had to be like scraped away and reassembled.
Yeah.
Like there were pieces cut away from the model to like make it work with the hot glue. So I had to like, after the hot glue was gone, it's like, oh look, it's 10% smaller now.
Oh no.
And I had to like find where things could overlap properly. It was so weird, man. Yeah, and I mean, I remember like my parents having hot glue around. So I could see that, like, if a kid's trying to put together a model, like, Mommy, help me. Hot glue. I get it. But that seems weird because like super glue wasn't like a weird thing. Like when I went to the model store as a wee lad,
but they called it crazy glue.
They sold me a bottle. Yeah. I still use crazy glue. No, they sold me a bottle of like, you know, the tall Elmer's looking bottle that has like the green or the, you know, purple stripes on it that has the name of the store. Yeah, like the stuff that they still sell today at these places. Like it wasn't weird to have that. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I did have that Zappa Gap. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. I think everybody did. I still have a bottle of that stuff laying around too.
Ooh. Well, write in if you know what's up with this hot glue situation.
Yeah. Some insight onto maybe why. Why the hot glue?
Why indeed? Well.
Hot glue. Yes. Anyways, I'm gonna go play some Spearhead tomorrow at the game store. And I'm looking forward to that.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so report back.
How that goes. Yeah. You got any more Bjort updates? You know, anything like that?
Bjort is retired. Bjort is in the home. Yeah. Maybe pieces of Bjort will return at some point. Maybe I'll have a good disguise, but there'll be like a leaf of Lothlorien, and someone will be like, "Oh my, why is that there? Who's that from?" Yeah. Or maybe.
No, I think you should come back to it like this, right? I think you should find yourself like a I don't know, a Danish sort of vest. Right? I think you should put the bald cap on, and I think you should put the gamer goggles, glasses on, and I think you should get yourself a big fluffy mustache.
I could buy one of those. Yeah.
But see, a big fluffy mustache, no hair, right?
Right.
That doesn't say Brent from Goobertown.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Maybe I just need to be getting like spy books and stuff. Like I think you can find like old CIA manuals and stuff like that, and they understood how to disguise yourself to not look pretty much exactly like yourself, and how to have it
black
work.
Baseball cap.
You get a baseball cap, yeah.
That would probably do if you just tucked your hair up into a baseball cap. Nobody would know who you were, dude. Like for real.
I thought about
it. Like you get that Clark Kent effect because it's like they're expecting something so specific and it's just not there. Yeah. Right? It's the reason the long hair failed is because Brent has long hair. That is Brent.
Live and learn.
Yeah.
But I got up to enter my goblins, and I scanned my card, and they're like, "You're Brent, right?" Like, I mean, sure. And they're like, "No, but seriously, you're Brent, right?" Like, yes.
That's even better. They're just like, "No, that's not gonna work. Just say it. Just say it and move on."
So, I got my pieces entered, but I would say that Bjort as a construct just entirely failed. Entirely. But,
oh, poor Bjort.
Oh well. We'll give it another try some other day. Well, there are more mini painting competitions out there, and endless personas to adopt.
I mean, that's true. You could really do anything.
Anything. I think that's all I've got for this time, Casey.
Yeah, I'm really just trying to see how far you're gonna keep going if I push you. That's all. But anyways, thank you again for joining us on another episode of Paint Bravely. If you enjoyed this podcast, please help us out by leaving us a review on iTunes, subscribing to the YouTube channel, and sharing this message with your hobby friends. And as always, we appreciate each and every one of you for listening, and we will talk to you next time. In person.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be in person, not.
We have a few of them over.